Now, I know what you're going to say. We shouldn't describe this as a flip of the switch moment because XRP is still at 52 cents. But remember, today's price does not reflect future value. Understand what is taking place. So I am describing Ripple getting the full licensing to operate within Singapore as another flip of the switch moment. And I visualize this like turning on the spigot. Are we at full pressure, full max volume yet? No. But we got a little trickle, we got a little drip, and we got a flow starting. And as we've seen with on-demand liquidity available in over 40 corridors, payout markets in over 70 countries, Ripple continues to grow. The SEC lawsuit was not going to stop them. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the most recent jurisdiction that they got the green light. And then we're going to talk about other banks that are very interested in XRP now that the SEC has lost once again, with Judge Torres denying the SEC's appeal and also granting Ripple partial victory at summary judgment. Now, let's get right on into this update, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure we subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you appreciate our content, smash that thumbs up and share it out far and wide for me. Let's get right on into it. So, starting out here with Cindy Young, such an honor to win in this UK's most prestigious payments award. Go Team Ripple. And this is coming from the Payments Association. They say, Ripple, you're the leader in digital currencies, assets, and financial services. Congratulations on your win at the Pay 360 Awards. Let's also recognize the entire industry for embracing digital finance. So another award here for Ripple, Best Use of Digital Currencies, Assets in Financial Services. How about that one? Nothing can stop what is coming. And then we have this one from Akbar Shakur on Twitter. My boy works for a bank. He's at a conference right now. I won't mention details, but look at the pic he just sent me right now. Haha, yes. And we are looking at domestic CBDCs, and we got Visa, we got MasterCard, and they are talking about existing relationships with central banks, MasterCard and Visa. MasterCard partners Ripple and Consensus, Fluency and Fireblocks, and Visa partners Microsoft, I think that's Agro Token. What is that? Sequoia? I can't really read that last one, but you can clearly see at this banker conference that someone's attending, they are talking about that partnership between Ripple and MasterCard. Now, in this one, we're going to show you guys a clip here of this interview. This is Think Global Logistics interviewing this guy right here, Paul Zalai. He is the director of Freight and Trade Alliance, and he also works at the Australian Peak Shippers Association and the director of GSF. Listen in on this interview and how he describes how they weren't interested because of the SEC lawsuit, and understand why this is so important, guys. This is someone outside the United States that still didn't want to work with Ripple because they were getting sued in the US. So just imagine how many more conversations, how many more banks, institutions, payment providers, and in this regard, they're talking about logistics and Freight and Trade Alliance, logistics, right? This is outside the United States, yet they still were hesitant to work with Ripple and XRP because of the lawsuit. But listen in on this clip right here, folks.
Notice.
Right.
And again, I'm not an expert on it, but I understand they approached us some time ago, but at the time they were battling some legal battle in the US.
Yes.
And our position to them was, look, come back to us once that's sorted out, because you only get one chance at a first impression. And if this court case doesn't go well for you, it wasn't good. So anyway, they got a good result in the US court case, and they approached us again. And look, we're going to have a bit more of a look at it. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on it, but we may look to promote their product. And again, it'll be buyer beware. We'll say to our members, look, here's this new technology. From what I can understand, it can generate real-time transfer of payments.
Yes.
And they seem to have a lot of checks and balances in place. At the briefing that I was at, where I did that post, there was a lot of representatives from the major banks that were very interested in it. So it is a real thing.
That's right.
But how that translates to meaningful solutions for our members, we'll only understand that in a bit more time.
I think.
So you got a lot of major banks at that meeting as well. and you have them showing interest right now that they've put the SEC behind them. And not completely, right? We still understand that institutional sales were ruled as a securities investment contract by Judge Torres. Sure. It's just a matter of how big of a check does Brad have to cut. And now we know, as we've been covering with the Ethereum whistleblower, adding the whistleblower to our facts and the timelines that we've put together, the ball is in Ripple's court. They have all the leverage, and the SEC has lost nearly all of their leverage in this case. So we wait to watch that part conclude. But in the meantime, we have the understanding that XRP in and of itself is not a security. And if you buy XRP through the programmatic, the programmatic sales by Ripple, where then, an exchange or someone's in the middle, you have a blind bid-ask offer. That is not an investment contract, as Judge Torres just denied once again the interlocutory appeal from the SEC. Further claiming that programmatic sales were not a securities and the other distributions by the individuals were not a securities investment contract either. So the case is almost won. It's only a matter of time before we get settlement. Let me know in the comments down below when you think this case is going to settle up. In my opinion, it's not a matter of when, or it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I think that's going to be coming sooner rather than later. Remember, we now have the trial dates. Trial will begin in April of 2024. There's no chance. There's no chance that we're going to trial. And even John Deaton is agreeing with me on that one too. There's just no way that they're going to allow Ripple to call Bill Hinman to the stand, bring Stephen Narioff up, Ripple would be having a party with their legal assassins cross-examining all these witnesses. It would just be blown wide open. They need to wrap this thing up. They need to seal it up, and they need to shut us up. That's what their main mission is right now at this point going forward. Now, we get another video here from Ripple, 1 minute complex question. They've been putting out these little crypto and 1 minute clips, and you have Ripple's Josh Takar keeps cool under pressure and describes the seemingly endless capabilities blockchain can enable in the latest crypto in 1 minute. I'm not going to play this, but I just wanted to show you guys just another big hitter added to the all-star team here. Josh Takar spent over 7 years at BlackRock, where he was director of software engineering, index and ETF portfolio management technology, as well as cash and global credit technology. So 7 years at BlackRock before coming here, and big resume here. Also ex-Salesforce Senior Director of Engineering. So another big hitter on the team, and Ripple just doing their part to help folks really understand what we're doing here with cryptocurrency technology. Ian Berg, who is communications at Ripple, and I find this funny too, he's actually ex-Visa as well. So currently communications at Ripple, that's Ian Berg, and he shares this: well done to my colleagues in Singapore for seeing this over the line. Ripple has received full regulatory approval via the Monetary Authority of Singapore to operate in Singapore, not only significant for our Asia business, but huge for our global ambitions. And what we're taking a look at right now, folks, is one of the few mainstream articles. And this article came out, this news was shared on the same day that Judge Torres denied interlocutory appeal from the SEC. And on that day, I commented on how CNBC put out this coverage of Ripple getting the green light in Singapore, and Yahoo Finance put out an article about Judge Torres denying the SEC's interlocutory appeal. But other than that, you found some of the mainstream crypto news kind of touched on it, but nowhere in the financial legacy media did they touch on this at all. And so this article here from CNBC, Ripple obtains full license to operate in Singapore as it expands in Asia Pacific. Guys, this is the Central Bank of Singapore giving Ripple the full green light, allowing Ripple to flip the switch. Ripple said on Wednesday that it has obtained a full license to operate in Singapore, its Asia Pacific headquarters, since 2017. Ripple absolutely dominating in that town, right? Quote, we have hired exceptional talent and local leadership, doubling headcount over the past year, and plan to continue growing our presence in a progressive jurisdiction like Singapore, CEO Brad Garlinghouse said in a statement. I like that jab, in a progressive jurisdiction like Singapore, unlike the United States that's tried to hold them back. It comes as Ripple continues to spar with the U.S. SEC over a lawsuit. Another great picture of Brad right there. So we absolutely love to see it. This comes less than 4 months after the Monetary Authority of Singapore granted an initial in-principle approval in June. With the full license, Ripple will continue to provide regulated crypto payment services in Singapore. Over 90% of Ripple's business is outside the US and Singapore, and to a larger degree, Asia Pacific is one of its fastest growing regions, absolutely dominating over there. Ripple said it will continue to prioritize the region for adoption of its crypto payment services. Monica Long, president of Ripple, told CNBC in an interview last month that Singapore's office headcount has more than doubled in the past year because our business within the Asia Pacific region has really exploded. Now, remember, we have Stuart Alderati, chief legal officer at Ripple, who stated that after the ruling from Judge Torres in July 13th, the XRP in and of itself is not a security, is that we were about to start to see U.S. banks, institutions, payment providers going live with XRP. That was from the chief legal officer, right? Now we have the president of Ripple, Monica Long, also confirming that in the Asia Pacific region, they are dominating, that they are doubling their headcount. And they have also set up another big headquarters in Dubai for the Middle East. And so we just continue to see Ripple flipping the switch. I noted how they've already got XRP for settlements through ODL live in 5 of the BRICS nations. So tremendous progress within BRICS, tremendous progress within Africa. They have 13 base operations in Africa, 13 locations. And that actually might have grown since. And they've essentially fired up their services are available throughout all of the continent of Africa through their partnership with MFS Africa. Big deal over there. And then, as we've been talking about, dominating Middle East, dominating North Africa, dominating APAC, and now we have the green light in the United States as well. So when I describe this as a flip of the switch, remember, let me add context. I really like to visualize this as turning on the spigot, but we're not going to maximum pressure, maximum volume yet. But what Ripple is doing and what they've done with the XRPL is built to handle a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity. It's going to get only better when we get automated market makers too. We're going to have the tightest spreads, the tightest margins, and some of the best liquidity in the world between these different currency pairs. And I think that when folks are looking to get, liquidity out of any currency, out of any asset, I think 5-10 years down the road, without a doubt, the XRP ledger is going to be one of the best places to find it. And now that we're getting the green light to operate completely, the last thing that we're waiting on is the settlement with the institutional sales, Ripple SEC. That settlement is going to be, behind us. And then it's just going to be a matter of time before we get the next announcements coming in that a U.S. bank, payment provider, or institution is gone live with XRP, has added XRP to its balance sheet. And then we're going to, have completed the flip of the switch in every single jurisdiction and continent. I mean, maybe we're not live in Antarctica yet. David Schwartz did go visit Antarctica. So maybe they have some plans down there. But in the meantime, guys, this is what we love to see. As we've been saying, nothing can stop Ripple. This SEC lawsuit slowed them down slightly, absolutely. But tremendous progress nonetheless, and this is only going to grow out and ramp up exponentially from here. So I hope you guys are on board. I hope you guys are ready as they get, as they clean us out a couple more times in regards to the markets and where we're going. Right? It's all beautiful over here. We have complete clarity, blue skies. It's nice and warm over here in XRP community land. The rest of the world around us is burning down, and what we have to be prepared for is for the broader crypto markets to be brought down a couple more times. And during that time will be the final opportunities to buy XRP at these lows. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but you already know what I'll be doing. With that being said, if you want to tune in with us, we're about to have our Discord weekly call every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're looking to get tapped in over there, you can join me for an intimate conversation with our family. You can ask your questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you're thinking about all this most recent action that we've gotten in the broader crypto, markets, economy. We talk about it all. We talk about some of the stuff that we can't talk about here on YouTube, and that's why it's always a good time. If you're looking to get tapped in, that's over at my website, zachrector.com. And by the way, we're going to be running the special when you sign up for your annual membership for Patreon. You get 13% off. We're going to be running that till the end of the year, and then that deal will be gone. So take advantage of that while you can. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. On the way out, if we haven't already, let's smash it. Let's subscribe up, hit that notification bell, and I'll check you guys in the next one. God bless you all.